The University of Oregon is located in Eugene, a city of 80,000 people, situated in the lush Willamette River Valley, midway between Cascade Mountains and the Pacific Ocean.
Touchdown! Stewart! Yeah, I got your speed right here.
Hey, ball corner 10, outside 5. Are you kidding me?
I'm really proud of where this team's at. We got a lot of work to do.
What's the deal, Doug family? I am Kenjon Barner, not alongside my guy Jay Stu, physically but virtually, and we want to welcome you to another episode of the Ducks of a Feather podcast. Man, what a week it was. What a weekend. What a week.
What a week.
What a week. It was a great week. This was a phenomenal week. We'll get to the football aspect of it in a minute. But Ducks host USC, get the job done, 42-27 in an absolute landslide. But the week, man, what a week it was, being able to be out there with my guy. I don't even got to ask you how your week was, how your weekend was, because I know.
Yeah,
I was there.
Right there. We
was
there.
Together.
Yeah.
Two peas in a pod, man. Oh,
yeah,
no.
Man, it was a good time, man.
It was a beautiful time. Beautiful time. And, just being here today, right, in this space, it just don't feel right to me, right?
Yeah, it feels like I'm out of place. Feels like I'm out of place.
Well, let's get something understood. I like the place you're at. I'm not going to lie.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Laguna Beach right now on Monday. The Carolina Panthers, first of all, play tonight. I know we going to listen. Them Tampa Bay Buccaneers, boy. Kenyon, what happened? We get it out the way right now for the viewers to know. Kenyon won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. I went to a Super Bowl with the Panthers. We did not win. But, there's a lot of animosity. There was a lot of animosity this weekend.
There's no animosity.
And Kenyon just does not believe in the Panthers. And he so-called believes in these Buccaneers that just got mollywalked by them Rams last night.
And the Rams are arguably, after this absolute debacle by the Philadelphia Eagles, to the Dallas Cowgirls
again. Oh, yeah.
Like, they got whooped by arguably one of the best teams in the NFL. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Okay. I digress.
34, yeah, let's call a spade a spade. It is what it is. They got whooped on the road against a premier playoff team, right, that is going to make a run at the Super Bowl. That's what happened, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I never said Tampa was going to win the Super Bowl. I just said Tampa is going to win the division.
Who's first in the division right now?
After you get your head kicked in like that, you ain't got a choice but to come out that corner and fight back.
Yeah.
So good luck to them Panthers down there in North Kakalaki, okay? You want to know what one of my highlights of the weekend was? There were so many, right? Obviously, me and you being together. But, I got Big back in my system. Boy,
yeah.
local donut, boy, listen. By far the best. I got on the phone when I got back home in California. I said, listen, I had the best donuts that I have ever had in my life. They said, oh, what kind? Was it a special donut? I said, no, less is more. Simple is better. It was a giant glazed donut that tastes like God had made the ingredients himself and made it. Okay, God played with that dough. God put his foot in that dough. Listen, it was the best donuts I have ever had in my life. Shout out to Local. I don't even know the full name of it. We should find that out.
I think it's just called Local.
They're out in Junction City. They got a food truck out there in Junction City. If you are ever in the area of Junction City or you're traveling through Junction City, make sure you stop because that donut is worth it.
And Local, if you are looking for investors to move you closer to Eugene, where the people are, let me know.
Let me know. Let me know.
Then
know who that is.
I eat those donuts.
Look, we are so much alike in so many ways. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. We are walking jukeboxes when it comes. You say anything, I'm going into a musical.
I'm going into a
okay?
song.
What? The song from my spirit, it just erupts out of me, man. But no, it was a great weekend, man. Being able to be around a squad like we were, Hawk, the tour that that we went on through the HDC.
Being able to see Dan Lanning in the team meeting.
Yeah.
You know,
seeing how he functions, how he operates.
I wanted to run through a wall, boy.
Yeah.
Listen, I was in that seat, and I wasn't really expecting it though.
What were you expecting? Tell me what were the expectations?
The expectations was, this was midday around 3:00, and they was having a team meeting. I'm like, all right, they gonna go through their team meeting. They ain't gonna go through their pregame team meeting. Boy, that felt like pregame, like the night before a game when the coach is up there and he's giving you the sauce, right? Giving you that let's go to battle speech. The whole entire meeting was that. I wanted to run through a wall on special teams, defense, and offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's not a mistake in what's happening at the University of Oregon. Dan Lanning, he deserves every penny that he getting.
Boy,
you hear me? Because there's nobody else doing it like him at all. Nobody else. Nobody, baby.
Boy, Keith Sweat, talk to me, okay? Talk nice to me, and I talk back. Was this your first time seeing Coach Lanning in that setting? That was up close in person? Okay.
That was my first time seeing, being a part of the meetings and whatnot.
Yeah.
I came in last year for the Ohio State game. We was kind of running all over the place, so I didn't have an opportunity. And then spring ball, obviously, I haven't been at a spring ball practice yet, but I'm gonna be around a lot more often. I can tell you that, because I'm juiced to just go out and do what I'm supposed to do in my life after that.
That's what the after effect. That's what I'm talking about. No, man, it was an absolute. Obviously, I've been able to be around a lot more than what you have, so I've been able to see him in that mode. The only thing I have not been able to do right is be in the room when he's giving his pregame speech, and I think that's the next goal. Like, I want to hear what he's saying right before we step out onto that gridiron.
Oh yeah. Maybe we do that in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm with that for sure. Like, I want to go in the locker room at halftime, right? I want to hear how he motivates those guys to come out in the second half. A matter of fact, I want to hear how you get that hype video the night before the game. I want to hear what he says the night before. I want to go through the whole matter of fact, Coach, give me some pads.
As a matter of fact, where my helmet at?
Hey, give me some pads. I think I got a medical red shirt year somewhere that I could find.
You did talk about that too.
Yeah, I got something. Back there.
I got one more year eligibility too, man.
I got something.
You can put me in that same package, man, that you put Bedger in.
That's all you want?
That's all I need.
You need a lot of escorts then.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, look, put them bodies in front of me. If I get hit, it might be over with.
It might be a wrap, huh? No, but yeah, that's definitely something that's on the docket, right? To hear him really, because it's one thing to be, but here's the thing, he's the same guy. He's the same guy day in and day out, but I'm sure there's a different level of intensity night before the game and moments before the game, right? It has to be. Has to be. It's like a player the night before the game, you're juiced, you're getting ready. Depending on the player, some players are supremely calm, right?
Yeah.
But then you have those moments leading up to the game to where you've gone through the quiet storm, and now it's time, that adrenaline is starting to pump. The energy is raising. So I'm sure there's a difference. So I know we've seen the videos, but I want to experience it live and in person. But yeah, it's always a beautiful time being out there in Eugene. Absolute beautiful time. Meeting different people, running through campus. Boy, I was outside running in the cold, Stu.
Yeah, man. Talk about that. How was that run? You know what? We're going to back up. You able to go run in the cold, but you're not able to come meet me at Emerald Valley Golf Club to go golf in the morning.
I'm not running. I'm standing still. I'm swinging a club. There is no sweat being broken. And you told me, no.
I was sweating.
No, you wasn't. Stop the cap.
I was sweating. My armpits were sweating.
Sunday was just yesterday. Today's Monday. Sunday was just yesterday.
I was sweating. My armpits were sweaty.
You want to talk about your armpits?
Hey, let's talk about that.
No, we're not.
Your boy was stinking.
No, We don't do that to each other. We don't do that to each other. That stays between us. I am my brother's keeper, though.
I appreciate that.
But you told me when you seen me shortly after that, when we was on our way to the game, how cold you were.
It was cold, but my armpits were sweaty. But I'm only having a problem with this, Kenyon, because you decided to go on a jog in the cold.
But I'm running.
Playing golf, man. We playing golf. You moving.
No, but you're not running. Man. You're not running.
There's going to be plenty of opportunities for you to get out there in that course.
Yeah, in the summertime.
Summertime. It feels like summer right now, dog.
You in California, baby, it's beautiful.
My brain is like wired. It's like rewired.
Yeah. The morning of my run, right, I went by the duck store.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this here brim?
Oh, yeah, that's a nice hat, man.
You see this here brim?
You always stay fitted with the caps, man.
Man, it was this company, they just had a table set up right outside the duck store. And on my run, I went and I seen it. I was like, hey, I'm going to come back. How long y'all going to be here? I like hats. So I'll be back. And so I ended up going back, ended up meeting the owner. His name is Alex Carusa. Hope I'm saying that right. No disrespect. And the company is called Wooden Grill.
Wooden Grill.
Yeah, absolute fire, Stu.
Yeah,
like this hat right now. It's a corduroy bill.
I like that.
Up and top, you see it's a beautifully designed hat.
He had different colors and all that?
Oh man. Listen, I got hats. I got 5, right? It was buy 3, get 1 free, and then they ended up.
Oh, you got me one?
You want one? You don't know. You're a beanie guy. You're a beanie guy.
I am a beanie guy. I am a beanie guy. You know, with these dreads, as they get longer, I guess, the hat game kind of get, lost.
Yeah, no, listen, I got a partner who got dreads down to his low back. He's still rocking hats. He's still doing it. Yep. Yeah, but shout out to the Wooden Grill, man, and Alex.
That's dope.
If you guys are looking for some nice brims, definitely hit them up.
And if you giving a shout out, you must think you think them hats is off the chain if you giving them a shout out.
Nah, I'm talking about like the color combinations, the colorways, the
stuff
fit.
that you ain't gonna see just on some regular shelf.
Nah, you're not gonna find these in a duck store. You're not gonna find these. You're not gonna find these in the mall. You're not gonna find these at Nike. Like this is uniquely made, and it's absolutely fire. I'm a hat guy through and through. So shout out to the Wooden Grill. Shout out to Alex and the company. I met the whole fam, his mom and everybody. Just beautiful family, and I had a great time out there. But man, let's jump into what we are here for, right? I mean, we could fellowship, as Brother Floyd says. We're going to have fellowship for the first 20-25 minutes before we start this study. But now we didn't have our time. Let's jump into this game. Oregon gets the job done, 42-27. Do you remember what your prediction for the game was?
It was 38-10, I believe.
And mine was 38-24. We both was right on that 38 number, felt good about that number.
Yeah.
But, man, they went and got it done, and they got it done in a dominant fashion. There was areas in this game, right, where we did not. One of the areas of concern that we talked about last week was our DBs covering their receivers. This was the first time all season long, like I said, you had Surratt at Indiana, but this was the first time where you had a two-headed monster in Makai and Lemon, but not only in Makai and Lemon, a guy that we did not speak about at all, number 16 himself, Mr. Tanuk Hines, has 6 catches for 141 yards.
We forgot about that guy, huh?
We didn't even mention that guy.
We didn't know who he was.
It's like they say about fumbles. It don't get you till it gets you. It's the guy that you don't see that gets you. And we didn't see Tanuk Hines coming. 6 catches, 141, a touchdown. Jacoby Lane, 6 catches. I'm talking about an absolute monster of a day. 6 catches for 108 yards. And then Makai Lemon, 7 for 34. Now, this was an area of concern because Oregon had not faced a complete receiving core. Not only that, they hadn't faced what potentially could be, when the time comes, maybe bona fide first-round picks, second-round picks, and these receivers. And so that was a key of it was a spot of interest for us of how would our secondary hold up against 2 top-tier guys. We hadn't faced that, and we found out it was ugly for a little bit. Brandon Finney had it rough out there.
show what I think it showed, because a lot of those throws that they were making, they were big plays. Those guys were going out there making plays,
Yeah.
going for the ball, getting their hands to the ball, highest point, those types of things, right? But what it did do, it exposed the youth of our defense in the secondary,
Mhm.
right? You know, Feeney, like he was right there on just about every play that he was
Yeah.
throwing, that they were throwing to him, right? But it's just those little things, like find the ball, right? How do you find the ball? Are you panicking? Where are your hands? All those types of things. But that's going to come in due time, my friend. It's
Yeah.
going to come in due time. And maybe this is a game that needed to happen to help them grow, because what we learned about him, you know, you told me a story. This man cried in practice about, you know, someone catching a ball on him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I can only imagine what this film study is going to do for a guy like that, and how contagious that's going to be going into this week of preparation. Whoever he's guarding next week, I feel bad for them.
Yeah. Because he's one of these motivating guys, right? Where
Mhm.
a performance like this, it's not going to break him. It's not going to push him in the other direction. He's somebody that's going to look at this film and get better.
Yeah.
He's going to grow. He's going to evolve. But even in that, right, some of the calls that were made against the defense were iffy, for sure. There was a couple pass interferences called where you're like, really, bro, take your whistle out your mouth. Take your whistle, take the whistle out your mouth, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
There's California guys.
Yeah, it had to be. Who paying you? You from Woodland? You Midland? Boy, who paying y'all?
Mission Viejo.
Who was paying y'all? Because some of them calls was absolutely absurd. Absolutely
Yeah.
absurd. But in this game, we did have 11 penalties and still won 42-27. That says a lot about this team.
Overcomers.
Overcomers, because typically in a game where you have 11 penalties, right, the game should be a lot closer. We had 11 penalties for 130 yards. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's undisciplined football right there.
As a whole football field.
Yeah, boy,
And then
some. Well, you got the main course and some sides.
Boy,
11 for
over there
130.
greedy, ain't you?
Yeah, so that's something that we definitely have to get cleaned up, because once you keep going, you get into playoff ball, you can't have 11 penalties and give up 130 yards of free real estate and expect to win a game. But again, that says something about this team, right? There's a lot in this game. There's a lot throughout this season. You know, Dan and this coaching staff and even the players always talk about the next man up mentality.
Oh, yeah.
That is proven week out and week in for this squad. You look at this game versus SC, you have 3 of your top offensive linemen go down and guys step in, and you're still able to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like, that says a lot about this team. You have different guys stepping up each and every week. It is that next man up mentality is something that is true and embedded in this team, and it's a beautiful thing to see, because this team keeps finding ways to win despite the trials and tribulations that come their way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like you had Poncho go down in the game this past weekend.
Poncho goes down. Isaiah World barely played. Harkey went out for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was able to see Harkey at the airport.
Okay.
It's Sunday, yesterday morning. But it was just encouraging him, right? Just stay the course. You know what I'm saying? They was able to get a little break, so he went home for a little bit. See the fam, get rejuvenated, come back to work.
Yeah, you had that. This offensive line absolutely dominated the game.
Yeah,
dominated the game. Dominated the trenches on both sides of the ball.
This is what I have. We talk, we joke, we say certain things about the run game, and people might take it like, oh, it's because you're a running back, and part of that is true, but it's also because we know, right?
Yeah.
The major stat line in that game that made us overcomers was moving the chains.
Yeah.
And you move the chains with the ground game. It's the easiest way to do it if you can do it. And You look at the yards per carry for the USC, I think they was under 2 yards or something like that.
1.9.
1.9 yards per carry, bro. And how many yards we had per carry?
We averaged 4.4 yards per carry with 179 on the ground.
Okay. And so they knew, and that's with them knowing what we wanted to do, right? They knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to run the ball, play action, let Dante be great. And those 4 yards is what keeps the chains moving. You do that 3 times, that's a first down, basically, is what you're telling me. And so kudos again, once again, dialing up the right chemistry calls for this unit, especially when you start seeing guys go down with injuries, in the trenches. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way when you are battling injuries. The best way to do it is take the battle, take the fight to them. You do that through the run game, and then everything else opens up. I mean, it helps when you have a guy like Kenjon Sadiq.
Man, listen, that dude is a freak. That dude is an absolute
crazy,
freak.
dog.
But want to stay right there on the offensive line and in them trenches. Even with the turnover right up front, this team did not give up a sack.
Mm-mm.
Dante was kept clean all game. Like this is again, when you talk about being ready for your moment, you have to give credit. This coaching staff, right? This coaching staff is special. You have to give credit to Alik. You have to give credit to Dallas and the way that these guys that come into this game due to injuries are mentally prepared for the moment. They don't come on, the lights aren't too big. It may be, they may teeter-totter for a little bit, have some good, have some bad, but when it comes to like you get into these second halves, these dudes settled in and they play ball.
Yeah.
So shout out to Alik, shout out to Dallas for what they're doing with this offensive line up front. It's just a beautiful day, man. Absolute beautiful day. But let's get into some players. Let's get it. So let's back up a little bit. During this episode, this week we're gonna be airing 2 episodes, right? We'll have our reaction to what we're doing now in the USC game, and then we'll preview the UW game. But then we had a sit down, a 2-on-1 sit down with our guy Bear Alexander, and so we'll be giving you guys some insight into him opening up and talking a bit and kind of giving the fan base a feel for him. Not kind of, definitely giving the fan base a feel. But let's jump into Bear and the game that he had, because my dude had a game. He had 4 pressures, 2 tackle. They call them run stops. I'm calling it a TFL. Okay, I don't understand. 2 TFLs, and had a run grade of 83.9. So you knew that this game in the interview he told us. Yeah, in this game in the interview he told us he had this game circled for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So you knew that it meant something to him. What did you think about his performance?
I think he, just looking at him in that interview, because obviously that was a Thursday. You got 2 days before the game. And so watching him and talking to him, you can tell even then the level of focus that he had. And I'm sure he's that way all the time, but I felt it. I felt the energy that he wasn't going into this game, to shy away. He was going in to prove something. And so I would just like to say, man, congratulations, Bear, for putting on a show for yourself, for your family, for the fans, but ultimately just doing what you do, being a dog, being a Bear. And I hope this game just continues to, I hope this game is a trampoline, for the rest of your career. Something that you can look back on and say, hey, what's done is done. You rewriting the script, you rewriting, your future. And so his story is such a story of an overcomer of multiple things, right? You're going to have your physical elements. We're going to talk about the things that you can see, but not oftentimes do we talk about the things that are unseen. Mm-hmm. And I think he's doing a great job of battling the things that are unseen.
Yeah, great. But
he had a dog. He had a dog of a day.
Yeah, he had a day. It was.
List them stats, boy. What were those stats talking about?
My dude had 4 tackles, 2 solo, and then the TFLs, as we're calling them. I don't run stops, but my dude was just physical.
Savage in the trenches.
Taking the man in front of you and involving him in the play in the wrong direction.
Putting the offensive lineman in the running back's lap.
Yeah. Go ahead, have a seat, brother. I mean, it was a lot of that. Another guy you talked about last week on the defensive side of the ball. We've kind of talked about Mateo. boy.
Boy, oh boy. He must have listened to the podcast.
Listen, he listened.
Did you listen to this podcast? Or did you hear it? Did you sense us talking about your boy?
But listen, you know what it is? It's SC. That's home.
It's home.
We talked about this. You get a home. Obviously, every university has its rivalries, right?
Yeah.
Oregon State, Oregon, Washington. But we talked about this. It's for guys that come from out of state. There's a rivalry within that. And so for him, this is LA. This is home. This is all eyes are on this game. And dude absolutely shines. 7 tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, 2 TFLs. Have a day, young man.
Have a day.
Have a day, okay? Listen, savage, absolute savage of a day.
And credit to him, right? Like everybody watching, right? This is probably one of them last games before the playoffs obviously start. You know, we're going to talk about this Rudy Poo team that we're going to face this weekend. But this is everybody tuned into this game.
Yeah.
Right? Scouts, coaches, your auntie, your grandma, everybody tuned into this game. And again, just like Bear, he didn't fold. He didn't run away. He leaned in and he got active right when we needed him to.
Yeah. This game was a great example. After the game, Coach Lanning had he stayed with the one-liners and the quotes, right? But he made a statement after the game. He said, it's a great time to find some opportunities for great growth.
Mm.
And when you look at this team, you look at the way that this game was played, you look at the guys going out, the guys that came in, you look at Malik Benson and the game that he had, putting up 152 total yards, of offense and 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, first one in a cool little minute. When you look at this team seeks those moments and those opportunities to find great growth. The young guys, again, that come in, an opportunity to find great growth. This team, I love this team. I do. And the objective of football is to win and to find ways to win when the odds are not in your favor. In the words of Katniss Everdeen and the Hunger Games, may the odds forever be in Oregon's favor, okay? I love what this team is doing. I love the way we built. I love the way that we're structured. Let's get into this run game, and we're going to work our way back onto the opposite side of the field again. But Noah Whittington is coming on very, very strong. Noah Whittington is having the last quarter of this season. This dude has been balling out of his mind. Game after game, play after play, he is putting on tape, film for the scouts to really go look at and say, you know what, this dude can play at this level. This dude can play the game of football. This is a true running back. He's running with power.
That has angry runs.
Yeah, he's running with power. He's running with aggression. He's falling forward. His contact balance. The dude is just, this last quarter of the season, this is what Noah should have been throughout the entire year. But you got to find your groove. You got to find your rhythm, and it's better late than never. And my dude is absolutely in his groove. I think this is his third 100-yard game since the Indiana game. 19 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown, okay? Jordan Davison, 13 carries, 50 yards. And Jordan Davison with a touchdown as well. De'Aaron Hill, 4 carries and 28 yards. Just having a day. And listen, we got somebody in this statistical category that we don't typically see, Stu.
Oh yeah.
Somebody made a guest appearance, okay?
A dog, linebacker.
My dog went 1 for 1 for 1. 1 carry, 1 yard, and 1 touchdown.
Man, shout out to Betch, man. Betcher, listen, this is not a mistake, brother. I heard that, they showed a picture of him on CBS.
Here we go. But before we jump into this, let's jump into this interaction that these two meatheads had in the locker room when we was doing this tour.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother. Yes, brother.
Yes.
Stop breathing like that in my ear.
Yes, brother.
Meatheads. No, I don't want no part of that.
Yeah, no.
In the backfield
hey, man,
and he takes a
look at him.
Snap, and
look, get Dusay in there.
He was not going.
He
was not going to be denied. Okay, not at all.
Get Dusay in there for the touchdown, and it was for 28 points. Huh?
It was for 28. We got to talk about that. So that Bryce has been seen as a younger child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wearing your 28 jersey. He now wears the number 28 jersey, and on that play, he scored to make the 28th point of the game. Man. 28 just popping up all over the place,
you can't make this up, man. Look.
Nah, you can't make it up.
Like that's the way it's supposed to be done, man. On senior day too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a beautiful story for him. You local guy that got to watch the Oregon Ducks all his life.
Yeah.
And, I felt honored to know that he was a guy that loved my jersey, especially the way he be playing.
Yeah.
I consider myself, a linebacker sometimes because, size and everything. I'd be going up against them dogs, blitz pickups, all that. I look forward to those moments. But
I ain't never heard you say you consider yourself a linebacker. Stop the cap.
I consider myself a linebacker because I used to hang out with the linebackers. John Beeson,
Shout out to
TD.
Bees.
They took me under my wing because I was just like them. Crazy in the head.
All right, I'm going to give you that.
But I will say this, man. That's a dope story,
And it is.
That's like kids, if you watching, players out there and you want to gravitate towards a player, this is a kid that's done things the right way.
Got it out the mud. Got it out the mud.
He didn't take any shortcuts. He works and people respect that. And for him to get that moment, it's a walk-on. And for people to see, the fruits of this labor, it's a beautiful thing. But shout out to Dan Lanning for saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you right." On one of the biggest games of the year.
Do you know what the name of that play was?
Trojan.
Yeah, Trojan. I like that. Look, I like the Trojan Horse. I like that. But listen, Bryce had 13 tackles, 1 TFL, and a rushing touchdown. Talk about Bryce. Putting up numbers, showing up and showing out.
Just 28.
Yeah, man, shout out to Bryce. Shout out to this squad, man. Since it's been real quiet out of Southern California fans on the internet. It was a whole lot to
talk about.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of opinions with no power to carry them before the game was played.
What power do they have, Kenjon?
Like I said, it was a whole lot of opinions with no power to carry them. Okay. Now it's quiet
now
out
it's
here.
Basketball season, basically, for them.
Not basically. They're going to go to a bowl game that don't matter.
Yeah, basketball season.
They're going to go play in the Poinsettia Bowl.
They playing hoops in the front yard and on the carport.
So what you're saying is they getting ready for the off season.
Yeah, they having Thanksgiving early.
Well, everybody going to have Thanksgiving.
But they having it early.
Okay. All right, my fault. It's
they
quiet.
Walking the beach.
It's
they
quiet
walking
on
the beach
quiet
probably
on
right now as a group on the beach right here, right behind me.
Right behind you.
Yeah,
it's been quiet on the net though. It's been very quiet. It was a lot of noise before this game. A lot of SC. One thing about it, SC, y'all got a lot of bark but no bite. Your bite been going for a long time.
They ain't got no dog in them.
Nah, the dogs left with Reggie Bush and the Lindell Whites and the Cushings and the Clay Matthews and the Troy Palomalus, the Ray Malalugas, the Mike Williams of the world.
You know what we call that?
What's up?
We call that adopted faith, brother. They adopted. They adopted in the history, right? But they don't want to be a part of history, right? They want to
be. They do. They do. I'll give them that. They want to. They just can't.
Right.
You just can't. It's a lot of listen.
They just becoming artifacts right now.
I wanted to be 6'4". I just couldn't. It wasn't in the cards for me.
I wish I was a little bit taller.
I wish I was a baller. I wish I had
a girl who would think I would call her.
Yeah, man. SC is doing a whole lot of wishing. It's a lot of wishing coming out of SC. Y'all wish y'all could beat Oregon. Y'all wish y'all could be what Oregon is.
One wish.
Yeah, their magic lamp, their genie has ran out of power, ran out of magic. Ain't no more magic down there. Y'all boys, I'm gonna continue to say it. Y'all boys are mid-level. Y'all boys are subpar.
They 6'7".
Average. Y'all boys are mediocre. And in a world of today, a lot of people are okay with being mediocre. And it seems that you guys are okay with that. You guys are comfortable being that. You guys are comfortable latching on to the legacy that was created by players that played there over 20 and 25 years ago and hanging your hats on that, but you can't create a legacy for yourself these days. You have to lean on the past and talk about the past, and every time somebody talks about, oh, well, we did this, you haven't done anything since 2008. You've had one good season during that time. You're trash.
I used to be used to until I got used to.
They never got used to being what they used to be. But that was for a time. Shout out to Pete Carroll and that regime, because when he left, the success of SC left, and it hasn't been back since. So SC fans, SC players, pipe down, continue to work, continue to fight on. I know it's a hard fight, but what I will say this, y'all don't got no problem with commitment. Y'all don't got no problem with loyalty, but y'all loyal to trash.
Take the trash out.
Take the trash out. Replace the trash bag. Y'all need something new.
Yeah. Make sure y'all recycle too.
Yeah. All that talking y'all
they
do.
ain't got recyclable items over there in USC. This is all trash.
It's bad out
Pizza
there. But I
boxes.
love how quiet it is. But I want to tell SC fans, this is a safe space.
Yeah.
This is a safe space for you guys to humble yourselves and realize that y'all just not it. That the years of yesterday are no more. Okay, they're no more.
We the team out west.
Yeah.
When they talk about what colleges out there on the West Coast, all you gotta say is Oregon.
That's it. Okay, hold on. We got a little clip right quick. Let's check this out.
There's one place that used to be the place on the West Coast.
Keyword used to be.
That's the way it was when I was a kid.
Used to.
A lot of people who were on the field yesterday aren't even old enough to have remembered that. Some of them were not born the last time USC really ran things on the West Coast. But if you were around, if you were of age, when Pete Carroll and USC were doing their thing in the mid-2000s, it doesn't seem like that long ago. But really, it was a long time ago. It's been quite a while. If you don't believe me, go watch some of the games. Look at the picture quality. It sneaks up on you a little bit. So it's been a little while. There's one place that used to be, and then there's another place that is.
Couldn't have said that any better.
I couldn't have said it better either. That's
Josh
why
was
he get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, because it's simply that. Again, SC fans hang on to what they used to be. Meanwhile, Oregon is living in what we are. And what we are, when they refer to the West Coast and West Coast football, they're not referring to any other state. They're not referring to any other college but the O. That's it. That's it, and that's all. And it's always a lot of talk. It's always a lot of noise. I got a call from the great legendary Mike Williams the night before the game.
What he was talking about?
He called he FaceTimed me and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you now." He said, "I don't want you trying to talk after the game or while the game. If it's something to be said, I want you to say it now." I said, "Well, you know what it is." I said, "You called the right one. Rain, sweet or slow, sunshine or dark. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna say what I got. I'm gonna pop it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Ducks by a million.
I'm gonna pop ducks by a million." I told him, I said, y'all came up here to get whooped on. Y'all think y'all, no. It's not what I think. I don't think. And I tell people all this all the time. I love Oregon football, but I love truth more. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak from a biased place. I'm gonna always tell the truth. If I didn't think Oregon was good enough to win, I would say, hey, this game might give us this could give us some issues. I don't know. But when I know what I know that I know, I'm gonna say exactly what it is. And I knew from the jump we was gonna whoop y'all. I went on CBS and said it. This is gonna be a 2-score game. And they're like, oh. Well, again, my opinion is not. You don't have to believe it. I didn't form my opinion of this game based off of what you think. I formed it off of what I know. And what I knew was SC toilet bowl team. Okay, y'all are mid-level. What the kids say? 6, 7. 6, 7. Y'all mid.
You got to be better.
Big Ten Conference, you could be anything in the world you want except average. And USC, you guys are average.
Yeah.
They and like you will be average.
They're a Northwestern football team right now.
Damn.
That ain't bad, but it ain't good.
If you ain't good, if you're bad.
Hey, you said it, man.
I'll say it again. They got talent. Here's the thing about SC. SC has always had talent. I go back to my playing days. Again, Robert Woods. You had Robert Woods. You had Nelson Aguilar. You had Marquise Lee. You had Silas Red that transferred in from Penn State. You go back years before that, you had Taylor Mage. You had Jarrell Casey, Matt Barkley. SC has always had studs. Hayes Pillard. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of guys that they have had. They've had DBs. They've had it all. But since Pete Carroll has left, you've never been able to put it together. All of that talent has never amounted to anything. It's just been individual guys with talent that go on and play in the NFL. You guys put out NFL talent, no matter, but you don't win college football games. But enough about SC, right? I think we spent enough time about them. But listen, Stu, we got them mutts up north.
I don't even know if they dogs consider.
Before we jump into that, we got the duck and dive. Hold on, Stu. Before we got a little something for you. We got the duck and dive into the archive right quick. Let's check this out.
Jonathan, does it feel any better that you came up here and did this in your home state just to be able to kind of make a statement for you and the duck program?
I mean, you got to make a statement every week, but I mean, being that I'm from Washington and everything, it's just a good opportunity for everyone that knows me to drive up north and see me play. So thank you for that. 661
yards of offense. You guys got anything left for USC?
Yeah, we got a lot. we got a lot. So I mean, we got, like I said, we got to keep things rolling though.
Yeah.
Any nerves about coming back, or were you really excited to get out here?
No, just got to pray for peace. I mean, that's all I do every game. I mean, just get in my mind, get in the place, get in the corner, and just ask God for some peace. And that's what I get every game.
That boy was media trained, okay? Because as you guys have heard us talking about playing at home, it absolutely is something different about playing. You clearly had something to prove when you went up there and played against them mutts up north.
Yeah, media trained, but also that was during a moment in time where, I was growing up, man. And it hit me. Talking to the young boys this past week, especially Jordan Davidson, how quiet he is, how, mild-mannered he is. That's what I saw in myself when I was talking to him. Watching this video, it's that media train. It's just more so, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still growing up as a kid. And, in that moment, I was telling the truth before these games.
No, I believe you. I know.
There's too much energy going through my body. Let me go sit down somewhere and read this word.
I believe you. I know you're
keeping
it real.
Yeah, because during game days, I'm so consistent. I'm so here. And I don't want to ever be up and down. And it's dope seeing that because it just kind of reminded me of who I am today, right? But please believe, what was going on in that young boy's head was, let's go up there to UW and make sure we BTA.
That's exactly what happened. So now that some years and years and years and years and years and years and years.
Relax, man. Relax. You talking about yourself?
Huh?
You talking about the years and years and years and years and years have passed since you played?
No, since that game.
Jesus Christ.
That the abundance of time has went by. When you look back,
y'all hearing this man trying to call me old?
You said that. I did not. I'm just recognizing the amount of time that has went by since that day.
Yes.
And to his point, when you look at the film quality, it kind of tells the story.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's a long time ago, man.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
It's 2000. It's 2000. It was 2007.
Damn.
And it was.
You know what I was doing in 2007?
Seattle. Hey, relax. I don't care what you was doing in 2007. Hopefully, you was taking care of your homework. Hopefully, you was listening to your mama. Okay. Hopefully, you was taking the trash out.
7. Boy, Cass was wearing headbands and hats together with a do-rag.
We was wearing tall tees, do-rag, headband around the do-rag.
And scrunchy socks.
Yeah.
Damn. My fault. I got distracted. How many years ago?
Did. But that was a long time ago. I ain't gonna cap. But to that point, what you talking about though? Like Oregon has ascended from that moment.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we talk about USC and what USC once was. We've been steadily like ascending. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys came in there and y'all hit it like a rocket. Boom. Then we had a little bit of ascension, kind of, level out a little bit, coaching. And then I feel like right now what Dan's doing is he's hitting that extra boost. You know what I'm saying? Up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you gotta tap into the DNA.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't tap into the DNA of the college, then you just another college. Like
Yeah.
history is there for a reason, not for you to just repeat itself, but to learn from, right? So you
Absolutely.
don't have to go into this cycle. And so you learn from, you know, the teams that didn't get it right. You learn from the teams that did get it right. Right. And I feel like that's what Oregon's done a good job of getting coaching in here to challenge that, to challenge the mode of the mentality, to
Yeah.
challenge the mode of the identity. What type of players are we going to bring in here? What type of players can we recruit? Can we get to the East Coast? Can we get to the South? Can we get anywhere in the world, in the nation, to get the right guys in the building to build something special?
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
So
that
what
was a
did
long time ago.
how did that feel? Like now that like years have gone by and you can actually sit back and be in a different headspace and obviously know what that was and what you did and you know what it meant. How does that make you feel now? Like if you could go back
It
and
makes me
ask
feel.
that question or answer that question again of, you know, was it something about coming up here that made it a big game? How would you answer that today?
It was definitely a big game because for me, you know, being from Washington, being from Olympia, Washington, and knowing that everybody and their mama that's ever watched me play high school football and that cared, they were going to be at that game. And during recruiting, Kenyon, you know, it was hostile because every day I worked at the Safeway grocery store bagging groceries. And every day, bro, I had someone come up to me saying, "Go Cougs, go Huskies, go Cougs, go Huskies." And it was as if they expected me to be one of the two.
Yeah.
And so when I decided to become an Oregon Duck, the same people that was saying, "Be a Husky, be a Coug," they was dog cussing me for going to Oregon.
I'm sure
And
they were.
so they was upset. And looking back at it, shame on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm an 18-year-old kid. 18-year-old.
They didn't care nothing about that.
But they didn't care, obviously. But you know, it just goes to show you, man. You know, as a young kid, you just stay the course and trust coaching, trust God, and just put in the work, man. And just stay focused, man. Find that inner peace before these games, because that's how you stay tapped in, man. But looking back at that game, I'm glad we was able to put it on them the way we did in the running game, because as
Yeah.
you know, there's just something about the air attack that's like, oh, that's dope. Y'all threw from all them yards. But when you able to just run the ball through the trenches on people and do it in a record fashion on an away game
Yeah.
in Seattle, with all them people up there on
Get it
that
done.
water,
Get it done.
man, that was like, I still look back at that game and say to myself, thank you, Jesus. You know,
Yeah.
because I think that for me was just one of them confidence boosters, especially that was my junior year. And it was one of them things that really kind of got my mind going as far as what I was going to do with my future in the NFL. And, you know, part of, you know, declaring early. And so, blessed game, dog.
Absolutely. So the Ducks is heading up there, you know, to get on the lake, go out there and play against, again, I'm going to keep calling these mutts. You know, one thing I don't think we'll ever do, I don't think we'll ever be flocking for the Huskies. I don't think we'll ever welcome one of them into the flock. I'm starting to get hives thinking about doing something like that. Although I do got some good homeboys that were out there. But either way.
Shout out to Shaq Thompson. You know,
Shaq, Jadon Miggins, Vita Vea, True,
Bishop
Jordan
Shanky.
Miller. It's some good cats out there that went to UW. Y'all just chose the wrong school.
But
that's
y'all
all.
still ain't gonna win this game. Let's talk about this game, man.
At all. So
Look, what bright spots do we need to talk about for the UW Huskies?
Well, when you talk about bright spots, right? You got to start right at the head of it. You got to start with Damon Williams Jr. The dude is electric. Dude can throw the ball.
Yeah.
He's fat. He's fast as a cat.
Fast.
Absolute. He's an absolute nightmare.
So keys to a victory there.
Keeping him in the pocket.
Has to be keeping him in the pocket.
Keeping him in the pocket and not allowing him to get going.
Contain the edges.
Tatum and Teo got to do it. We have to have great gap integrity of this game because he's a quarterback that can affect you with his legs. So you have to maintain your gaps, keep him in the pocket, kind of like what Ohio State did last year versus up with Dylan Gabriel, right?
Oh yeah,
they acted like they treated Dylan like cattle. They herded him in, they funneled him in, kept him funneled in, didn't allow him to get outside the pocket where Dylan was dangerous throwing the ball. That's what you kind of have to do with Damon. You have to herd him, keep him, close the pocket in, don't allow him to get out. So great rush. We have to have great gap integrity when we're rushing a quarterback. Then I would go right over there to Jonah Coleman. One of my favorite backs in the league, was one of my top 5 backs at the beginning of the season. I think he's an absolute dog. I think he's a savage. I love the way he runs the ball. He's a physical runner.
What's up? No. Listen, the trenches, dog. He is savage. He could be all right.
Yeah.
But them trenches is going to keep him in the kennel.
What are we doing? Wait a minute.
Okay? It's going to keep him in the kennel.
Why are we talking good about this team? What are we doing?
Yes,
we can't be doing right now.
You over here giving this man kudos. Look,
hold on.
You're gonna be an eye player. He individually, I hope you to have success. But when it comes to these dogs and these ducks, they're trash.
Yeah, man.
And what do we do with the trash, Kenjon?
Take it out. Take it out.
So
that's
look,
what we do.
The trenches is gonna hurt both of these boys that you just talked about.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no running around. Ain't gonna be no running. The trenches is gonna be worked. And the only people that's going to be working is Oregon, okay? UW, they just going to show their face. They're going to show up to the stadium and say, hey, let's go, rah, rah, rah. Music going to be blasting, and the music going to be talking about all this other stuff and what they want to do, and they're going to get out there on the field. They ain't going to do nothing. Huh?
I apologize.
They ain't going to do nothing.
I apologize. Duck fans, I'm sorry for talking well about the Huskies. No, what am I almost calling by their name?
How dare you?
By them mutts. I was wrong. I was out of pocket.
The mutts.
Listen, I was.
Yeah, get back in pocket, dog. Get back in line.
I had my professional media hat on today. Okay, I came to talk football.
This is a podcast, man. You can do whatever you want to do.
No, I can't, and we can't. That's
say
why.
What you need to say. Say what you need to say.
Yeah,
say what you need to say.
But I can't.
Say what you need to say.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Boy.
Yes, you can.
I can. No, I can't. We can't. We can't. This is the reason why. This is why.
But you can.
This is why we make our guys' days long, because we on here saying things that we ain't supposed to be saying.
Hey, man, let it be up to them to take it out.
Okay. Well, with them.
So how do you feel about these Huskies, man? You said the quarterback's nice. I agree. He can get out of the pocket. He can be scary here and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we talking about the same team that was out there. Who they played? App State? Who they play? No, that was the Washington State Cougars. Who these boys they lost to Wisconsin. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
These boys lost to Wisconsin, Kenjon. The Pups lost to the Badgers, fella. Okay? The Badgers was badging the Mutts. The real UW. Oh, my God.
My gosh.
The real UW is the Badgers.
Well,
I like that. The real UW is the Badgers. They put that up so we can talk about it. Let's talk about it. So right now, the Wisconsin Badgers went up in there and hijacked Seattle for UW. Got hijacked.
Listen. This could get me in trouble. But I'm going to say it anyway. Listen.
Say it anyway. Say it.
Y'all the little brothers you've been... no, I don't want to go there. I'm not... You know what? I'm going to remain... I'm going to let
They are the little brothers. Stay right there. I want you to stay right there. They is little bro.
I'm going to let you jump out the car today. I'm always the one jumping out the car. Okay? You jump out. I got your back. Okay? Don't worry. I got your back. But I ain't jumping today. We going to beat them. The bottom line, we going to whoop the... BTA is on the way. Okay? BTA is on the way.
plane.
PTA is on the way. I don't expect this game. Again, obviously going up there, it's always a tough place to play. You know it's going to be loud. Rivalry games, records don't matter, this, that, and the other. But what does matter is that we do have Dan Lanning. What does matter is that we do have Dante Moore. What does matter is that our defense is playing at a high clip. What does matter is our run game is in rare form right now. What does matter is that Will Stein is leaning into the run game and allowing them to dominate the trench. And what does matter is that we are the deepest team probably in this conference. And we've proven that week in and week out with the amount of injuries that we face. And so listen, with all that being said, I said that to say this. Ducks by a million. Ducks by a million. We close this season out, 7 games straight? 7 games straight, going out there, getting the job done, getting playoff ready, and we go out here and we whip the Huskies. So with that being said, Jay Stu, with that being said, you know what we do during this time. The Ducks are a 6.5-point favorite during this week, sitting at 6.5 points, right? Are you going over or under?
Man, whatever the tallest mountain is, we over that. Okay.
This week I got to do a little bit something different, man. I'm not going to give my prediction. I'm not giving my prediction. I'm riding with my guy Kaden Allen, young kid out of Springfield. Just had his 10th birthday. Just had his 10th birthday a couple days ago. My guy had a hunting accident.
Happy birthday, young man.
Yeah, man. He had a hunting accident. Ended up getting shot in his hand. And so they're fighting to save his hand. He's going through different surgeries. But the spirits, when I just was over, before I left Oregon this past weekend, I went over there on Sunday and got the chance to be with him, his mom, his dad, his sister, the cats, and spend some time with them, man. The spirits on this kid was so high, right? It's kids are so resilient. Right, a child can go through the most traumatic experiences and still come out with a smile on their face. There's beauty in being a child and being a kid because you believe in the impossibilities of life. You don't believe that anything is impossible. But being around this young kid, man, and witnessing his energy when he seen me get out the car, I heard him through the door. Holy crap, Barner! And so I get in the house and man, we sat, we talked, we laughed. And I'm looking at this kid like, man, you have everything. You have every reason to be down, right? You have every reason to be sad. That there's a possibility that his hand may not function again. But we're praying and believing that God will be God and work a miracle on his behalf, and he will be able to function. So shout out to Caden Austin and the family. Got to figure out a way.
Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, got to figure out a way. I want to figure out a way to get him around the team. So I'm going to try and talk to Dan and Neuer and get him up there because he's a huge guy.
Get him on the cast.
We should. I
think we should get him on the cast. He might have some actual insight for us.
Okay, I'm going to work on that. But listen, I'm not there again. This is not my prediction. But when I heard the prediction, I liked the prediction. I said, you know what? I like it, and I think I'm running with it. And so I said, Caden, I said, what's your prediction for this game? He said, well, the Ducks going to win. I said, well, I need something deeper. I said, give me a score. You got a score? He said, I do. And when I walk in, mind you, he was playing NCAA 25, and he had Oregon versus Washington on the screen, and Oregon had won the game 19-3. So he's mentally preparing himself for this victory. And so I said, give me a score. He paused. He said, 38-19. So, Caden, I'm riding with you. 38-19, the Ducks win.
38-19.
38-19. And fun fact, actually, he said that the Ducks would score 45 points versus SC. He might have hit the nail on it. It might have been 42. He might have hit the nail right on the head. Because I think he hit the nail right on the head because I said to him right after, I said, listen, y'all might need to go play the lottery if my guy is calling a game like this. So I'm riding with Caden. I'm standing in the car with Caden. This is his prediction.
Man, you know what, Caden? I'm with you too, dog. Look, my prediction was a little too emotional because I was just talking all the I'm hyped, I'm out there. I'm riding in the car with y'all, man. Get me a third. I'll sit in the back seat with y'all, man.
Sit in the back seat, Caden in the front. Caden driving, as a matter of fact. I'm in the passenger, you in the back, okay? We riding. We riding and we ready for war. So 38-19, Ducks win. close out the season, making a heck of a run, getting ready for this playoff run. And the Huskies fall. The puppies fall. I keep calling them by their government name. Them mutts fall. Well, listen, we ain't got nothing enough to say. We going to leave off on that note. With that being said, Stu, I love you. And as always,
love you too, dog.
Ducks of a feather flock together. And we out, baby.